Hi besties, here is my January wrap up and my February hopefuls. This is going to be the quickest wrap up I've ever done, as I only read 8 books in the month of January. I know most of you guys would be like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Or some of you, like my boss, when I told her, I was like, oh my gosh, I only read 8 books. And she was like, only? And I was like, please let me explain, queen, because we were talking about books and she reads. She reads. My average is between 10 to 15 depending on the month. Last year, especially the last like several months, I was doing like 14 to 15. So to go from that to 9 to 8, I'm quite disappointed in myself. But I had a lot going on in January, so life really hit. So we only made it through 8, and that's okay. Listen, that's okay. Even if you read 2 books this month, that's amazing. Like, it's just for me and my goals. Like, you know, that's it. That's all I gotta say. So really quick rapid fire. We got The Unmissing by Mina Kent. This is a thriller. This follows a lady who was abducted 10 years ago and then comes back, and she's trying to, reconnect with her husband, but he now has a new wife. And it's the most twistiest, craziest thing ever. I love this book. 100% recommend. Like, you need to get on it, please. Then we got Foxglove by Adeline Grace. This is book 2 in the Belladonna series, and I struggled to get into this one a little bit in the beginning. Same thing with Belladonna. I couldn't really connect with Belladonna at all. I will say I enjoyed this one a lot more than the first one. So that's that. I can't decide if I'm interested enough to read the 3rd book. I would like to, but I know ideally I think I'll read it and then it'll sit on my shelves for a couple months and then I'll give them all away. So I think, I don't know. I think I'll give the 3rd one a try because I really enjoyed it once I like paid attention. I'm not saying I didn't pay attention to Belladonna. I just didn't like connect or like lock in it. You know what I mean? So I definitely locked into this one. I guess that's maybe why I enjoyed it a lot more. And I just really liked the story of it between her and Death, and then now Fate is in and he's trying to find his mate and he thinks it's her. So it was good. We'll see if I get to the 3rd one. I think I might, just to have it, and I'm also just trying to build up my library. The next one we got is In the Event of Contact by Ethel Rowan. This is fiction short stories. It's a collection of stories, and I'm not gonna lie to you, at first this took me like over 2 months to get through. Why? Because I just, for one, got into a big slump at some point, and then 2, like, I couldn't connect with these stories, and they were all kind of sad. So every time I finished one, I was like, I gotta put it down. I gotta put it down. I'm getting sad. And then last month, I was like, okay, I need to lock in and I need to finish this book. Like, this should have taken me 1 day to finish. It should have taken me 1 day to finish. And it didn't. And so I read the rest in 1 day. Actually, in the span of 2 days, because I was supposed to do a 24-hour readathon, and that didn't turn out well. But I ended up finishing it finally. And the end stories, they were good. I started tabbing them and highlighting some quotes that really hit. And I was like, actually, this was actually really good. Like the few stories actually hit. And I was like, I'm glad I saw it through, because they were hitting a little too deep. And then we got The Perfect Family by Robin Harding. This is the 2nd book that I read from Robin Harding, and I wasn't a big fan of it. Like, it was just your average, like, for me, I call them like an entry thriller. Like an entry thriller where it's like not too scary, not too crazy, easy to follow. And I was just like, y'all could have just had a conversation to fix these issues. Because it follows a family and they have like so many secrets. Like their house is starting to get vandalized and they are like, is it mine and my issue, or is like, what the hell? And I'm like, y'all could have just talked this out, told each other what the fuck you guys got going on behind the curtain. And yeah, I don't know what happened there. Another one I went into was The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. I'm so sorry. I love Frida. Don't get me wrong. Frida is my thriller queen. Okay? I have read 9 of her books, including this one. And this one was just a waste of time. I'm so sorry, but it was. I'm so sorry. I will read all of her other books. I will. I am. But like, me personally, I just didn't care for what was going on in the story. I was like, but it was a good thriller. Don't get me wrong. It was a good story, good thriller. You know, twisty, classic Frida. But like, with the way the other two were set up, like, I barely, like, really enjoyed the second one just because there was a lot of filler and people in it that just kind of up and disappeared and never were brought back in. So I was just really confused. And then this, I was just like, what was the reason? I'm so sorry, but what was the reason? Anyways, moving on. Another one I went into was Savage Lover by Sophie Lark. So far, this was my favorite out of the series. This is the 3rd book in the Brutal Birthright series. It is a dark romance, mafia romance type of situation. And they're kind of like a standalone, interconnected series because obviously each book has their own their own couple it's based off, but also there's like snippets of, you know, the other books in the series as you go through. So it's got little spoilers in them from like the first 2 in this, you know, and so I mean, I'm reading them in order, so I definitely recommend that way you know what's going on in each situation. But I love this one. This one's Nero Gallo. He is the youngest. He's Ada, who is the FMC of the first book. This is his little brother. This is her little brother. So yeah, his story and his situation. I love Nero and I love that book. So another one I got into was another like psychological type of thriller, I think it's more of a mystery thriller. The Orphanage by the Lake by Daniel G. Miller. I think he's got another book coming with this series. I don't know if it's going to be a duology or if it's going to be a series, but there's another one after this. And this one follows a missing girl and a PI, and the missing girl is like someone who knows her. She goes to this PI and she's like, hey, I need your help. And it's just a lot of secrets, a lot of mystery. And what happened in this, I was crazy. And then the last, but certainly not least, was Be Best of Friends by Lucinda Berry. This is the most fucked book I've ever read. It fucked me up mentally. And I can't say if I recommend it or not. Don't ask me on this one. You'll have to ask literally anybody else. For me, I wish I didn't read it. And you'd be like, oh my God, Michelle, that's a Lucinda Berry book. Like, that's your thing. Not that one, babes. Not that one. Anyways, moving on. My February TBR hopefuls. Heavy on hopeful, okay? Because I have a lot going on in my brain and in life. I genuinely don't know if I'll have time for all of these. I genuinely don't. And that makes me so sad to say, because I miss reading. I miss being able to pop in my audiobook and do my thing. I can't. I mean, I can, but I can't for most of the day because I have a new job, and so I have to pay attention to the fucking training and all that shit. So I'm basically wasting my day away. Oh my God. And then on the weekend, I didn't do anything but rock. But now that week 1 is out of the way, we're hoping this next week is a little better at balancing everything. So we'll see. But nonetheless, here's what I hopefully get into. I am in between 3 right now. So we'll get through those real quick. Those are Night Bane by Alex Asher. I'm like 11% into that one. Another one I'm into is still Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. Now with that one, I started it in December, so it's just been sitting there like 20 pages in. I started it and then I got into like a heavy slump after Fourth Wing and I wanted to go into Iron Flame. I should have just went into Iron Flame and then I probably would have finished everything by now, but I didn't. So now the third book I'm in the middle of is Iron Flame. So 3 fantasies. I don't fucking know what's wrong with me there. I shouldn't have done that. Who told me to do that? My brain. But anyways, here's a little stack of the vibes I'm gonna, choose from for the month after I eventually finish these. We got 5 Brothers by Penelope Douglas. Why 5 Brothers? I don't know. It just felt right for February, At book 4, Bloody Heart by Sophie Lark. I will get to this month. And then I'll have 2 left after this. And then I'll be done. A Not So Me Cute by Megan Quinn. The Love of My Afterlife by Kirsty Greenwood. Sure. The Therapist by B.A. Parrish. You have to throw in some thrillers. Free After Dark by Noelle Illy. I loved Ask for Andrea by this person, and I have to get into this one. Hexed by Emily McIntyre. This is the last book in the Never After series, and above all anything, this will be the next read that I will close out. So I can close out the series and be done with it. Not saying there's anything wrong with that series. I just have so many series that I call it open, because I'm not finished with them. And this one needs to be one that I'm done with so that I can have a done series, okay? I'm really excited about this one. I've heard nothing but good things, so I also really want to get to it for that reason. Broken Beauty by Kit Lee Ellison. I think this is a dark romance with like some magical aspect to it. There's 4 guys in there. That book has been sitting on my physical TBR, like on this back shelf for over a year, so it's time she needs to be read. As I said, I'm in Night Bane, so I'm going to actually sit that over there. Kennedy Ryan's Before I Let Go. I feel like this is just, perfect for this month. Check and Mate by Allie Hazelwood. I thought I'd give it a shot. All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. It's a thriller. We got a rom-com that I've been hearing amazing things about. I'm so glad I chose it for my Aardvark subscription. Unromance by Erin Connor. Absolutely. I've seen a lot of great things about this one, so I'm real excited for it. And then we got Under Lock and Key by Lana Ferguson. This is one of my Aardvark books as well. I'm trying to get some of those book subscription books knocked out too. So, and another one is The Perfect Fit by Claire Gilmore. Listen, a lot of love going on in this month, so that's the vibe I'm trying to go for. I'm trying to catch up on some romances. I'm trying to clear out series for these first few months. I'm trying to balance everything, okay? I'm trying to do my best here. I'm in between 3 fantasies. Again, what is going on there? But I don't know. That's the vibe for the month. That's where we're gonna go with. I know after Iron Flame, we will see if I want to immediately jump into Onyx Storm. So that can be added. Of course, I can't 100% guarantee. I'm just going off of the mood I'm in right now, and that's like the stack I'm going to pull from. Because I think the way I'm going to do it is, since I'm currently in between 3 fantasies, I'm going to finish Night Bane. I feel like that's the first one I'm going to finish, and then I'll go into a romance, finish that romance, and then get into a thriller. Once I'm done with that thriller, I'll finish the next fantasy that I'm in, and then have a romance on hand so that I can go through those. And then same thing, same lineup, after that one's done, go to a romance. After the romance is done, go to a thriller, then go to the last fantasy and finish that one and start the same process, and then knock out whatever's left in the list, in the pile here. So as I said, we'll see how it goes. I I just have so many things that are just taking up my mind right now, and it's genuinely bothersome to me. I feel like I have no free time. I feel like I have to be doing something. I have to be thinking about my next move, of what to do next for whatever. So that's me just dumping a little bit. Anyways, yeah, that is my January wrap up and my February heavy on hopefuls. All right, and let me know what's one book you're planning on reading this month. I would genuinely love to know. And yeah, if you want more bookish content, hit that subscribe button. All my socials will be at the end if you want to give them a follow. I love you so much, and thank you for watching.